Hello HEMA friends and welcome to this new video. Today I will show you a pretty straightforward while highly effective couple of exercises which are meant to learn and train two extremely important qualities and skills. The first one is reach awareness, mainly your ability to understand how far you can hit and which one is your maximum effective range. While the second is weapon/arms precedence, so the ability to start your attack while moving the arm first. Which, believe me, doing it consistently is far easier said than done. The first exercise is the easier one. Let's see what the two practitioners have to do respectively. The fencer who helps in this exercise has to simply move forward and backward in front of the partner, not too fast and with tiny little half steps. Going from a distance where getting hit by a lunging attack is impossible, to a distance where the mere extension of the opponent's arms is enough to get hit. Pretty simple. The fencer who actually exercises has to stay in front of a wall, or a bell, or more in general something which helps keeping the back foot always on the original starting position. The objective of this exercise is to express the measure needed to achieve the goal of hitting the opponent. This can be done with a tiny cut on the opponent's head or with a thrust on the chest. I say tiny cut because you want to be gentle. Being hit repeatedly on the head, even with moderate force, isn't good at all. Try to hit the partner with the first 10 to 15 centimeters of the blade over the head while cutting and to make the sword slightly flex while thrusting. The footwork we are using here is a lunging motion, which can vary in extension depending from the distance at which the opponent is. If you can reach the opponent just by extending the arm, don't move your foot. You can launch your attack whenever you want, at your time's choice, namely that you can wait as much as you want between one attack and the other, or doing a couple of attacks and recover in a row. Take your time to do whatever you want, and depending on your skill level and your necessities, just attack when you feel that everything is right. Remember that the goal is to land the action correctly and with minimum effort. If the opponent is close enough, just use your arms. If the opponent is a bit far away, go for a tiny lunge. If the opponent is at your maximum distance, go for a deep lunge. Just one important thing, don't limit yourself in this exercise because, but on slippery ground with historical shoes, etc. etc. These statements about the nature of the ground and the grip of the footwear are all true and make sense. But here we are training reach awareness and maximum distance awareness. Every human gets out of the factory with a brain equipped. Use it to understand when it is good to lunge deeply or not in relation to your knowledge, experience, physical training and context of execution. The second exercise is an evolution of this one. Let's again see what both parts are doing in addition to what has been done before. The fencer who helps doing this exercise now has a really important role. With his sight sticking on the front foot of the opponent all the time, he has to go for a parry when the stepping motion of the partner starts. Pay attention, not when the opponent attacks start, just when the stepping component of the attack begins. The fencer who is actually training instead has to land one of the actions described before, but this time adding an increased focus to the sequence arm first, foot after. If the partner is doing their part correctly, you will get parried every time the sequence is not respected correctly. This will give you a very clean feedback to improve your actions. Keep in mind that if a footwork component is not needed to land your attack and you do it anyway, it has to be considered an error. Do the minimum amount of movement necessary while respecting the correct sequence of motion to achieve the goal of the exercise. Check your arms extension every now and then, as the habit of not extending the arms properly is extremely widespread. Now, in addition to the main goals of the exercise, you have two additional secondary goals to keep track of while training. The first one is to always try to land in balance while lunging, so to be able to retreat neatly in a correct way. The second is to go back on guard position after every action. Do not let your sword drop down after landing an attack. Instead, retreat back in breve while recovering from the lunge. Very good, people. Two simple while extremely effective exercises to improve your fencing. If you start practicing them constantly, you will instantly see some good results, even in less than a month, maybe. So, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Remember to check my Patreon page for additional content and if you are interested in supporting my work. Thanks for watching and see you next time.